What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, with me on audio is my co-host Lance. Say hi, Lance.
Hey guys, what's up?
All right, as always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will help us get there. All right, so is the MCU's future in movies or series? And of course, this has been something that I know you and I, Lance, have talked about over and over again for hours and hours about whether or not the MCU actually maybe has more of a future for series than what they do for movies. But let me know, what do you think?
Here's my take on that. My take on that would be I feel like I want to say series. And the reason I want to say that is Marvel signed this big contract with Disney Plus. So I think their future lies with doing series on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket because the only series we have seen from them is Wandavision. And yes, Wandavision is great. It's amazing. We love it. We know this. Like, there's no doubt about it that I love the show. Yeah. You love the show. But it's the only thing we have to go on. And so I don't want to get ahead of it and be like, oh, don't do the movies no more. Let's just do the series.
Well, I mean, it's like, the upcoming movies, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, The Eternals, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Ant-Man and the Wasp, none of those.
Honestly,
the
only one
really
that
strike me as something exciting.
The only one that really is like, I want to see would be the Doctor Strange ones.
Yes. I mean, I was big on the Eternals, but then it's like my interest in that has just completely and totally faded. I just kind of feel like that movie is just going to be there for specific scenes. It's not going to really enhance us in the MCU. Like, it's more there.
I don't think that would. I don't think that's. I don't think that's a storyline that would win over. Like let's say you're Marvel and you're trying to win over fans from DC. I don't feel like that would be one that would be like, oh, I'm gonna jump over here with Marvel.
It's not. It's like if you're a comic book reader, you might be excited to see that movie, but if you're just the average MCU fan, I don't see that really grabbing your attention. I don't know anything about the Shang-Chi.
I can agree with that. I don't know anything about a lot of that stuff.
And of course, there's Love and Thor, Love and Thunder, but I'm really not into the Thor movies that much. Like, I mean, rewatching them, I just don't really care that much about the Thor movies. I kind of feel like Thor was a little bit overrated. So I'm not really into that either. Of course, Black Widow's another one they got.
I feel like Thor as a whole with the newer movies was overrated. Now, when I was younger, I was so into comic books. I loved it, but the first movie was pretty solid. After that, it was kind of lame.
Yeah. I mean, and look, I would be, if Chadwick Boseman was still alive, I would be excited about Black Panther 2, but without Chadwick Boseman, I just don't really want to see that movie anymore.
Unless they're bringing Killmonger back to life and letting him take the role of Black Panther, I really wouldn't care.
Yeah, I mean, from everything that I know about what they're talking about maybe going at, maybe kind of they're kind of going to have this where the side characters are going to take over in that role, and I'm like, but they're not going to replace him. And I'm like,
can't replace
okay, that's kind of stupid.
Like,
how are you going to have a Black Panther movie without Black Panther? Like, that makes no sense. Like that's the kind of stuff.
But I get why they're trying to go that route, because you can't replace an actor like Chadwick Boseman.
I mean, they were going to. Actor. That's true, and they were going to do it with his sister, but then, of course, there was all the controversy with her. So that to me is just like, I mean, that it's just out of the question that she takes over that role. And I thought she would have been good for that part, but there's no way Marvel's going to put her in it anymore. As far as the Spider-Man, of course they're going to they're talking about a Spider-Woman film and with Daisy Ridley, and I'm just not like I feel
can't
like the
accept
Spider-Man film needs more work than a Spider-Woman film at this point.
Well, my thing is, I'm not a big Daisy Ridley fan, so I'm not excited about that at all.
No, and I'm not. Same can go with.
It's not so much I'm not a fan of her as I hate Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So
I felt like Ray was such a one-dimensional character that anytime that I see Daisy Ridley in anything, I'm always going to.
That's who you're going to see, yeah.
And I don't know if I could ever like her character, to be honest with you.
She could play the greatest Spider-Woman ever thought of, and it wouldn't matter at this point because you already ruined Star Wars for me.
Yeah. I mean, and that too. You got to think too. Like, who wants to see a Spider-Woman film? Like, I mean, who's calling for that? Like, I don't know anybody that has ever mentioned that as something they want to see.
That goes back to what I was saying in previous videos, is Marvel's notorious for giving us what we don't want.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Thor: Love and Thunder. They're going to make,
Nobody wanted that.
Yeah, they're going to make, Thor a female, I guess, for, I don't know, a little bit, or if it's like that's what's going to happen, she's going to take over, and I'm not
Jane, really... Yeah, Jane's going to be the new Thor.
And all I see with her is Padme Amidala. That's another Star Wars thing that I can't get over. That's all I see with her. But it's just... I'm just not excited about anything that is coming out right now with Marvel movie-wise. But when you got the series... like WandaVision and
and I'm excited for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I'm excited for Loki. But my thoughts on it are still, the only thing I can judge your series on is WandaVision at this point. Yes, it's great, but that doesn't necessarily mean the next one's gonna be.
No. I mean,
so I feel like at this point, before I can just outright say, their future is series and not movies, I would have to see more than just WandaVision.
Yeah, if let's say Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision all do great, then I'd be like, forget the movies.
At that point, that's when I'm going to be like, no more Marvel movies. Yeah. This is awesome. Quit worrying about the Marvel movies. You still want to do some minor movies that nobody cares about? Fine. But the way things are going now, where everything is so streaming based, I don't see movies lasting very long in any form or fashion, not just the MCU, but anything. Like,
I mean,
there's not going to be. Look, I know people are, when you hear this, you're going to think it sounds crazy, but movie theaters are a dying breed.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds crazy because we've spent so many years going to movie theater. Mm-hmm. But that's how the generations before us felt about drive-in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I think you make a very good point on that. Right now, because we've been conditioned to go to movie theaters for blockbuster movies, I think it's hard for us to get past the fact that that's gone. And
or it's going.
It's going. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be what it used to be. No matter how you look at it, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, and people have to realize too that all these years that we've been so, I almost want to say brainwashed, but conditioned, I guess would be a good word to use, to let's go to a movie theater. We didn't have all these streaming service at our fingertips.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, our children are not going to be watching movies in theaters.
Oh, our children? No.
Mm-mm. I mean, that's not going to happen.
And that's just the simple fact of it. I mean, and I know it sounds crazy. I know it does. But go from VHS to DVD sounded crazy when they first came up with it. DVD to Blu-ray was like a stretch, So
I mean,
how this isn't any different. We're going from movie theaters to streaming services. And I love the streaming service. Way to go. I got HBO Max. I love it. I just, that's where I watch that's where I've been watching a lot of my, at least my DC comic stuff, is HBO Max. I wouldn't have watched the new Wonder Woman and all that I've watched recently if I didn't have a streaming service. I wasn't going to go to the theater and pay that kind of money to watch some of these movies. And Marvel, I'm big about that. I'm not going to a movie theater and paying that kind of money to watch a Marvel film because I haven't been that impressed with any lately.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like I'm. You want to know another thing I'm conditioned to is looking at Rotten Tomatoes scores and going to YouTube and watching, reviews from other YouTubers over films.
I do it too. I do that too.
Before I go to any,
there's a lot of different channels that I go and watch reviews to, and I'm like, I didn't think about this show this way. That makes kind of sense, but
we as
streaming
as
services versus movie theaters though, like, I don't have to wait in line to get tickets. I don't have to wait in line to get concessions. I can just go into my living room, turn it on, boom, there we are. And so accessibility is playing a factor in it. I think streaming services is the future of everything, not just Marvel. But at this point, like I said, I only see WandaVision right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if some of these other series come out and they're great, I'm already wanting to say no to the movies and yes to the series anyway. But if these other series start to if they do as good as they with these, if they have done with WandaVision, I'm definitely going to be like, this is the future.
I mean, the way I kind of look at it now is, I almost say it's going to be the future no matter what. I think that's something we can both agree upon. But as far as the near future, I'm kind of like, you know what? Just go ahead and let's just go into this.
Now, granted, they're still going to make their blockbusters and have them go from straight to theater, straight to a streaming service where you got to pay extra to watch. But
who's going to go?
I think that's going to die out too.
Because, think about it. Look, we do we want to go see things in theaters, but think about it. Are those, is that nostalgia talking to us? Because it kind of feels that way because, overpriced popcorn and candy at it, overpriced tickets. You've got a family of 4, you got a family of 5.
Think about
that's a lot of money.
Well, think about it like this. When was the last time you can honestly say you went to a movie theater, paid that ticket price, sat down, watched this movie, and left that theater feeling like you got your money's worth?
Hannah Montana movie. Hey, that's something that happened to me and Lance when we were teenagers. Long story to it. Won't get into it here. But to be fair, decent movie.
We saw look. To be fair, we saw 2 movies that night. Mm-hmm. The Wolverine movie, and Hannah Montana movie. And the Hannah Montana movie was the better movie.
Yeah, I know. And just to tell this quick little thing, me and Lance was talking about it after.
That's what you can tell about how well Marvel has been doing with their movies, right there. Yeah. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. The Hannah Montana movie was actually pretty legit compared to Wolverine. Because let's face it, those Wolverine movies just weren't good. Everybody wants to try to act like they're decent, and they were garbage. They're garbage from the
Logan was horrible.
Logan, oh my goodness, that movie! I barely made it through it, and I'll never forget. Like before I went and I saw it, everybody was like, "This is so amazing, man! This is the future. This is what they should have been doing, a movie like that." And I watched that movie, and I'm like, did these people watch the same stuff I watched? Because it's like,
I know
that wasn't very good.
But overall, I do think that Marvel's future is going to be with their series. Just with the fact that that's the direction Disney Plus is going to want to go.
Yeah, I think.
And they signed that contract with Disney Plus. So
yeah, I feel like short term and long term. I mean that's the way I look at it.
I would agree with that.
I mean,
like I said, before I say 100% sure that's where I'm at, I would like to see more of their series, but that's coming soon.
So you think we might be jumping the gun just a little bit too much on
I
it?
think it's a possibility.
I could see. You know what? I could see that. I agree with you. I at least want to see either Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Loki to make sure that I want to go.
They're
going to
stay afloat. They're going to stay. They're going to stay the course.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah. So I mean, I'm like you. I kind of want to see a little bit more before I make that judgment. But I will say I'm leaning more towards that way than I am, for blockbuster movies now. But as always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let us know what y'all think. Let us know if y'all want to see more MCU movies more than series, or if vice versa. Like we said, we're more into the series, but it's still out. We're not going to cast.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, all we have is WandaVision, so the jury is really still out on that. It's still deliberating.
Yeah. But guys, we appreciate y'all watching our video, and y'all take care.